Hello everyone, welcome to the Project 26 weekly review. Today we're just going to go right into my goals, how they went last week, how I'm going to change things this next week, and where I'm at. I started this with the goal in mind of just being a better person and becoming the person I know I can be. And so I think there's a certain level of maintainability that requires, okay? And so I went through this first week and I admit that it was a little bit strenuous. As in, I didn't have much time to think about my life or how I could change things, how I could improve things. I was just doing. And on one hand, there's a certain kind of joy or excitement with that, where you're in the moment and you're just doing. But then it also can wear you down over time, kind of being in that state. And so I felt both sides of that. So I think going forward this week, I want to leave a little bit more time for rest and time for not just rest, but mental space and mental clarity, so I can just maintain this environment that I've kind of created. And I think that's going to be key going forward. Now, kind of getting into the different goals I had. So you can see here I had the weekly goal of uploading one main channel video, and I did that. It wasn't as high of a priority this week. The main thing, so just to be clear, this is for my main channel. It's different from this one, but it ultimately was an update video, not too dissimilar to this, and that was partially because this week I only had 4 days, since 2026 has started, so it was more of a 4-day cycle as opposed to next week, which is going to be more of a 6-7 day cycle where I have more time to work on the video. But yeah, I think next week is going to be very, very crucial whether or not I can complete this successfully. Because the level of effort I put into that video is far dwarfed by the level of effort I'm going to put in the next video and subsequent videos. And so I think it's going to come down to streamlining my processes and making the other things easier and kind of taking away, so that I can add more to that part of my journey and my goals, I guess, and what I'm doing. The next thing is sort of tracking budget costs for my business. Yeah, I mean, I did that on Excel. It's looking pretty good. Don't feel too bad about that. Next up, set up client intake. So the interesting thing is, you may have seen I wanted to set up an LLC for my tutoring business because I'm going to be tutoring Japanese and in coaching and whatnot. And so I tried to set up I tried to get the LLC set up so I could get the EIN to get a business account and then set that up in the client intake for now. But it kind of turns out that I ran into some issues with the LLC process, so I couldn't do all that. So I set up the client intake in a way that I can still take clients even though I'm not officially an LLC yet. So we're just going to kind of keep the ball rolling on that, and I don't want to get stuck behind this whole LLC issue. So I'm just going to continue. And there's also the goal, stream 3 times, did that. That was fun. I actually streamed a lot more than 3 times. I streamed 5, I think. And yeah, it was great. Definitely pleasantly surprised at how much I'm enjoying streaming right now, despite still putting in a good effort and trying to make something presentable. Yeah, and so let's just go through weekly and quarterly, and then we can kind of figure out from there. So next we have quarterly goals, and these are the ones that kind of made the foundation for what I wanted to do this week. And we have upload 12 YouTube videos, so that's essentially one a week. So next week we're going to have one YouTube video as well. Then after that, it's set up business and start outreach. So that's something that we're actually looking to complete pretty soon, which is nice. And then maybe I can set another quarterly goal with that, get X amount of clients, or maybe not that, but X cold calls, or not cold, X cold emails, X tries. We'll see. I'm not quite sure where I want to go with that next, but that's going to be included in the next week's goals for sure. And then stream 3 times weekly. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised at how much fun that's been. I'm going to keep that up this upcoming week. And the last thing, which is kind of surprising me, and how it's been somewhat difficult is finishing 2 visual novels, anime, and anime with subtitles. So, I'm just realizing now that that's not a quarterly goal. That's a monthly goal. Quarterly would be 5 visual novels. It'd be 10 anime. No, it would be, let me see. It's 3 months, so that's 6, sorry. Multiply by 3, essentially. So 6 visual novels, 6 anime, and 6 anime with subtitles. Did not realize that. So it's like, it's a lot more than I had written down, but it's exactly what I had imagined. So let's honestly just fix that up, and I'll change that on my board that I have. And here we can kind of see the different goals that I have that are a little more specific, that maybe you won't really see on the main shorts, but like for example, the short form videos, I'm going to be making those on my main channel, streaming. Like I'm studying for JLPTN1, that's a big thing, and so that's really what the different sections are for, is so I can study for that. And then we have the different output goals. These are all according to my other channel, or they all link with my other channel. So once that channel gets 100K subs, 100K, TikTok follower, 100K Instagram, or like any of the increments in between either, that is when we will, start donating money. And the reason I kind of chose to do this was it's almost like a kind of celebration that something so incredibly difficult could still happen. And that's why they're kind of skewed towards the top. Is like, well, if we really can get to the end of these goals, and I really can achieve these things, then yeah, like, I'd like to give some back. And they're all mostly monetary related. The only one that isn't is JLPTN1, and so I put $50 there. But yeah. And then anti-goals. So for the anti-goals, I unfortunately did fall a little bit yesterday, and I think I realized what the issue is, and we're going to correct this live. But the issue is that, look at this: clean diet, no processed foods. General rule is it considered junk food? That's not clear enough. So yesterday what happened was I tried one food. I tried pancakes in the morning, and technically, technically that's not a junk food. It's debatable, right? To me it's a breakfast food. It's not really a junk food. After that, I had homemade nachos, right? It's not like I went to Taco Bell or something like that. It's like chips, meat, cheese, guacamole, sour cream. And that, it's like, because it was homemade, it didn't seem like junk food, but it kind of was. And then later that day, I was like, well, I already had 2 things that were kind of junk food and kind of not. So then I just ended up eating some fries too. And then, boom, so fries are, that's full-on junk food territory. So I think what I want to do is figure out what is a more concrete line that I can stick to. And I think for sure that's going to be no fried foods. No fried foods, and I'm thinking I want to do no sodas, no candies, no sodas, candies. I want to say dessert, but the thing is, there are like healthier desserts that you can make. I don't want to say no desserts, but we'll just put no desserts. But I just got to draw the line, somewhere, and I think this is just where I'm going to draw it. Cause no chips for sure. Yeah. Okay, so no fried foods, no sodas, no candies, no desserts, and no chips. These are all things that you may be surprised, maybe not, but I do eat these things occasionally, or consume them. So that should be a little bit clear of a line. And that should cover it, I think. Maybe no fast food. There we go. There we go. No fast food. Okay. Now that seems cohesive. It seems straightforward. I don't think I could really like. It's a hard set line that I don't think I can mess up. Yeah. So everything else is looking pretty good. I've been working on the 7 habits from the seven habits of highly effective people. And the thing about that is it's hard to set concrete goals there because it's just mental habits. So here, let's put this orange because I'm still working on that. And I mean, it's more symbolic. As I like it, it's more symbolic, even if I'm not concretely doing anything. I think it's important just to remember these things and as I go. And then I had one other goal. Excuse me. Enacting a habit protocol from Atomic Habits. I think that's big. And I've already done a lot, like write down current habits. Here, I'll lowercase those. Add desired habits. So right now I'm doing the things I want to do, but I'm not exactly facilitating the reproduction of their execution. Like, so I need to work on making sure that I facilitate the environment and the circumstances around the habits so that they're done and they're done more consistently. So let's say facilitate habit repetitions. Oops. And that's kind of like the sharpen the saw of I've already kind of been doing the things I want to do. It's just setting up the details to make sure it reinforces itself and all that stuff. All right, and with that being said, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be doing my best to stick with this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See ya.